Hi everyone, it's Ellen from Classroom Unbound, and I wanted to come on real quick and wrap up what we read in July and show you what we plan on reading in August. So let's get started. I'll start off with what we did as read alouds this month. So we read stories from around the world, the Usborne books, and we really liked these stories. They have just a few pictures in there, but the kids enjoyed hearing the stories from different parts of the world. That was fun. We also read White Fang, and we did another great illustrated classics of Dracula as well. I took that one back to the library though. And the kids liked it. They liked being able to see the pictures as well as the words. And it is a bridge version, but I figured at 6, 5, and 3, it's okay for now to be at least introduced to the story, and then later on they can read it as they get older. So this one and Dracula. And then we also read Dinosaur Cove, just the first one. We wanted to get through all of the books. I think they're about somewhere around 30. But we've just been traveling a lot this month, so we only got through one of them. But the kids liked that one. And then we also read Crossover by Kwame Alexander, and it's a story written in verse, basically. It's like poetry. So it centers around twin boys who play basketball, and just, you know, their life and their life playing basketball. I don't want to give away too much of the story, but it's really interesting. If you have maybe a reluctant reader, this is a good book for them, or just to read something that's a story written in verse. I think it's an interesting story. I've never read one that's been written as like a story written as poetry, so I really like this one. And it also won a Coretta Scott King Award and a John Newbery Medal, so check this one out. And they also have another one, or he, I should say, has another one. I want to say it's called Hooked or Booked. I don't remember, but it's similar. It has a soccer player on the front with a basketball, so we're going to check that one out probably this month as well. For my read alouds for July, I only got through 4 books. I have 3 of them here, but one I took back to the library. But I read The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin, and I really like her stories. She writes mostly dystopian type, well, this book I should say is a dystopian type of novel, and it has people of color in it. It has a woman protagonist, so it had hit all my main points. So I really like this, and I started the second one. This is the Broken Earth series, so this is book 1, and then I started the second one, and I am just about halfway through the Obelisk Gate. So I'll finish that in August, so that's part of my August to be read. And 3 Cups of Tea, which I accidentally picked up the Young Readers edition, but it's fine. And it's just an interesting story of how he started schools in Pakistan. And so I enjoyed reading it, although I don't know if I would have been that brave to go into these remote parts of the world and build schools, especially with the Taliban there. But, you know, I think he's doing an awesome thing there. And then I read my first graphic novel, The Sculptor, and it was very interesting. I think if you are going to read a graphic novel and you don't know where to start, this is a good book to start with. And he is an artist, a struggling artist, and he wants to become famous. And he's given the opportunity to either A, live out his life, how it would be, or B, become famous, but he can only live for 1 year. So he chooses to just live for 1 year, and then I'll let you read the rest. And the last book I read was Every Heart a Doorway. And that one was by Sheenan McGuire. I saw it on some booktuber's site, and it was a very hyped book, and I was underwhelmed by the book, to say the least. I didn't really like it. It was just a little weird for me. It was about children who basically go through this door of these magical lands, and every child's door is different, and they all go to this school after coming back from those places, and the school is supposed to help them, but really the lady who runs it also has a door that she goes through, and murders happen, and it was a little weird. I'm going to try the second book just to see if it gets better, or if maybe I just didn't get the gist of it the first time or with the first book, but I'm not sure. Not my favorite book. I think I gave it like 3 stars on Goodreads. So that wraps up our, wait, hold on. So that wraps up our July books that we read, and I'm going to tell you, okay. So that wraps up our July reads, and for our August reads, we are going to do, for our read alouds, we're going to do Three Tales, My Father's Dragon. So it has My Father's Dragon, Elmer and the Dragon, and the Dragons of Blue Land. So we'll be reading that. And then we're also going to try to read more Dinosaur Cove books. We visited 3 of 14 museums in Montana, going through the dinosaur trail. So it'll be over July, August, and September that we've been visiting all 14 of those museums. So we want to get through those books during our 3-month visit. So we still have quite a few books to go through, but we have time. And then lastly, for our read alouds, we plan on reading Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone and Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. So I found these at the library. I have all 7 myself, but I don't have the illustrated copies. So I thought it would be fun for the first 2 books to read the illustrated versions of the story. And they're the same. It's the same thing. I mean, there's still quite a bit of text in here, but it just has some pictures throughout. So I thought it might be more interesting for them to see the first 2 books as illustrated versions, and then we'll read the last ones, just the regular copies that I have that are super old. So first one and the second one for this month is our plan for our read alouds. So for my read alouds in August, it's a little ambitious, I think, for me. I'm in school right now. I'm finishing up my PhD, so I need to crank out chapter 5 this month. But we are also taking a 2-week vacation, so I'm hoping that I have time to read all of these books. It's only 6 books. It should be okay. I have the 4 Agreements. I want to finish that. I did start that last week, so technically July, but I want to finish it this month. And I also want to read Dumbing Us Down, John Taylor Gatto. I tried to start this last week. It just did not happen. So I want to read this one. World Class Learners by Yong Zhao. Educating creative and entrepreneurial students. Also, I wanted to get through to this last week, but I did not. So this is on my August read. The Red Queen. This is a young adult book, but I saw it on another booktuber's channel, and it just looks really interesting. I don't even know what it's about, but I'm going to read it. The Glass Sentence. It's the same. It's a sci-fi book. I also don't know what it's about, but I really liked the cover. So I think it might be a good book. I'm judging the book by its cover. And this is the sequel to Every Heart a Doorway. So I'm going to try this one to see if I can understand the first book, even though this one says that it could be a standalone story, but it does have characters in it from the first one. So I don't know. I'm going to try it and see if I like it. If not, if I don't like it, I won't read book 3 of these. But these are really quick reads. The book is really thin, so it's not really that much time. As well as finishing up my dissertation this month and planning out the rest of our school year. I also want to film another video about our homeschool room and give you guys some updates, and then also the curriculum that we're going to use this year. So look for those coming out within the next few weeks, and I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you're reading. If you found something very interesting that you've read lately, please let me know. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.